Hello again. So my name is Bernice Rodriguez. I am a double major in Spanish and Public Relations with a minor in psychology. And for my second term, I studied abroad in Dublin, Ireland. So I chose the program for Dublin, Ireland because since I was little, I have had this obsession almost with going to Ireland. And I thought to myself, I'm from the Caribbean. I love the sun, and I thought, if I go to Ireland, I will never do that ever again. So I wanted to take advantage of the green. We actually lived in the school in Griffith College, but the school used to be barracks. So therefore, we lived where the army men used to live. And I know that sounds a little bit scary, and honestly, it kind of was. You had to have fingerprinting to get into the school. There was a revolving door that only one person could go in through at a time. At 11 o'clock, those doors shut, and they didn't open up again until 7, so you couldn't have any guests or anything like that. And I know this sounds a little bit scary, but you actually had really cool experiences of living with people from France, people from Spain, people from Italy, so you got to meet so many people within the school that didn't really become a problem, and you were actually just very safe. So living in Griffith College was definitely very interesting, very different from what we're used to. Something I was surprised about that I honestly didn't know, actually I can name a few things. You live a little bit farther away from the city than what you would think. It's like a 20-minute walk into the center of the city, which doesn't sound that bad, but when you have to do it every day, kind of, especially it rains a lot in Ireland, so there's that. I would have liked to know how far away Griffith College truly is from the center of the city. Also, you don't get any transportation included with your package at all. So all the buses you have to take and all of that's all up to you. Now, I will say, you do go to school and you live in the school, so you don't have to worry about getting to class every day on time. I actually leave 5 minutes before class, but it's definitely very different from what I expected in terms of the location of the school and, where, if things were included or not within your travel packages. About the abroad experience in Dublin, Ireland was the fact that the people are just so nice. Ireland isn't something that is in a country that a lot of people choose to go abroad to. And there's all these little towns and these little, okay, so I went to this place called Howth, and it's this little tiny town with about 200 people that live in it. And they treat you so well. There's all these fish and chips pubs everywhere, and they're just so excited for you to be there. There's all these trails. There's all this nature for people to see. All these ferry rides. Cliffs of Moher are amazing. Definitely just going to Ireland was amazing because of all the beauty that the country has to offer. If you do the Dublin program, Griffith College, you're gonna be working a lot with Owen, and she is extremely Irish, and she is amazing. She's just so nice, wants to hear everything that's going on. You kind of get your own counselor there, which is another plus about that program. And the people are just extremely nice. They're really warm. They want to make sure you're okay. One time we went to this little town, and one of the boys owned this little ice cream parlor, and we actually ended up staying the night with his family. The person didn't even know us, but he was just so nice. And all my friends and I definitely don't recommend you doing this in any other country, but definitely Ireland is one of those places where things are just so much safer. If I could go back, I honestly wouldn't do things much differently. I will say the rain kind of scared me a little bit, and sometimes when it was too gray outside, I wouldn't leave, I wouldn't go anywhere, and I do regret that because the city is really gorgeous. Dublin City is amazing, and everything really is in walking range, so there's a lot to do when you walk. I definitely recommend getting a bike. There's these places that sell bikes for pretty cheap compared to a regular bike would be if you buy full price and stuff, and then you could sell it back at the end of your time there. Just like getting a bike and riding around is pretty cool. Something I wish I knew was groceries. You have to buy all your own groceries, everything. Nothing is, no food is provided for you. You do not have a meal plan whatsoever. And so you have to travel a bit far to go and get your food. But the food is really nice. A lot of it's organic because it's all from the local farmers, so that's really nice. But yeah, definitely you're gonna be walking a lot more than what you probably think. Dublin, Ireland, at least my program, the journalism and public relations, was a lot more work than what I thought. You had a lot of papers to write. One of my papers for my public relations class ended up being about 30 pages. So, it's a little bit much for, studying abroad. There's something called a DART, and it's a little train, and it takes you along a lot of the coastal cities. So that's definitely one to keep in mind, the DART. Also, the program includes some travels. I took a class that took me to Belfast. The program included a trip to Galway, which is an amazing city. It included the trip to the Cliffs of Moher. We actually planned ourselves the Giant's Causeway. There's a lot. Because Ireland is really excursion-based, and they have a really big tourism just for the excursions, they do have a lot of different buses and different tours that are already set up for you. You just have to go sign yourself up and pay for it. And there's a lot. There's one that not a lot of people would think about doing, but it's actually amazing, is a scary bus ride. And they kind of try to scare you, and there's like this, your spokesperson is dressed like a ghost, and they take you to all the different cemeteries, but they all have so much history. All these cemeteries. I mean, I'm a big history person, and the Protestants, the Catholics, England with Ireland, a lot of it, all the history they tell you through that tour, and it's pretty cool. The experience of traveling abroad as a whole definitely changed me as a person. I was abroad for a full year, so there was a lot to that. Living without your family, eating different foods. Again, for me, going from a really warm place to a colder, wet place. So it changed me in that I'm a lot more grateful for everything I have. I would definitely never take it back, and I'm so happy I went abroad for a full year. Pickpocketing or anything like that, never had an experience with that. Even my whole year abroad, in any of the cities I went to, and I went to a lot, nothing ever happened. But yeah, just definitely keep an eye for your stuff. Make sure you know where you put them. Advice I would give to someone that was going abroad in general is to keep an open mind, be grateful for everything you have. You're gonna learn about yourself a lot more in going abroad. I mean, when I went abroad, I actually thought I wanted to do the Peace Corps when I graduated. That was one of my big things, and going to Morocco made me realize that I'm not cut out for it. As crazy as this may sound, I think I'm too high maintenance for it. I need to shower every day. I need to straighten my hair. And I didn't think that was much, but in some countries, you just can't. You can't do that. You're not as lucky. You can't take a 10-minute shower. You have to narrow it down to 3 minutes. You can't shower every day in some of them, too. The food and everything. So it's definitely you learn about yourself a lot.